Well, just got on YouTube. This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the sixth album by American country artist LeAnn Rimes. As far as these pitches going to happen, basically this product is called Self-Titled, and it came out in the fall of 1999. So fair to know about this product here is LeAnn Rimes, this being her sixth album in 1999 as far as these pitches going to happen. Now, she was kind of a teenager around this time when this particular album came out, so it's within pitches like the Excellent Type Ordeals. But then the pitch behind it, this is a covers album, so it's within the pitch as far as saying minus one song, which is the song Big Deal. This is particular hit country songs from back in the 60s and throughout previous decades like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, some of those type pairs within the pitch as far as those formats can happen. There's actually some excellent type pitches on here. I recommend all 12 songs pitches like that, so simple enough. 10 I would say within these aspects, but I look after it kind of within the basic product now. This is a slump type album within these pitches, and you don't get like a real trace of LeAnn Rimes within these aspects to kind of see the sort of aspect that she would have carved out with these particular country songs. Now, this is her sixth album, so I'm not sure about the other 5 albums previous to this, but it's an excellent type aspect to get this here because this came out around a time when albums were going platinum left and right within some of those type of ordeals. So she was kind of one of the folks that was kind of more. It's not to say she wasn't in like the commercial scene. It's not to say she wasn't in the commercial sheen pitches like that, but it's kind of, she seemed more like the songwriter type variation when you think compared to folks like Christina Aguilera, Mandy Moore, Britney Spears, some of these type folks within the pitch, Jennifer Lopez, some of these type starlets that were around that particular time. It was kind of the pitch. In terms of when you think of folks that would have been like 18, 19, 17 pitches like that back in 98, 99 that were kind of doing country pitches like that, it wasn't as full bound, at least for a little while. Now, I am going to start getting to more LeAnn Rimes down the road as far as these pitches can happen, just to see what she does with her original songs, some of those type fairs, because particularly this is a pretty good taste, because particularly the lone original song she dropped on this album is pretty appetizing within these pitches as far as these formats can happen. So it's excellent within these ordeals, definitely like the product as far as these fairs going to go. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying, but yeah, within the particular fair, country pop within these aspects, I think it puts I think it has a pretty aspect type spin. It had been said, these are some good country songs to pick within these aspects as far as these fairs going to happen. Now, I don't know as full bound enough about like vintage country from decades prior full bound within those pitches to be able to say within each one, but I did notice that Willie Nelson was on here. I think Patsy Cline sounds familiar within pitches like that. Some of these type folks, it's kind of within the aspect. Hank Williams, some of these type folks within a particular pitch about it. But it's just kind of the fair as far as saying it has some good type products. Really, the fair about it, there were only really 2 singles. It was still relatively brief considering the fair. This would have been a good album to promote a little bit better within those pitches, but basically, Big Deal, the lone original single, did hit the top 25 in the Billboard 100, so it charted pretty solidly enough. It's just kind of the fair. It's just kind of more off the wayside. I do remember LeAnn Rimes faintly from the past as far as this person happened. She did seem like a product to like, particularly the teen starlets that came up around that particular time. It's just kind of the pitch. She was just kind of in more singer-songwriter type territory within those pitches, but that particular, this felt like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, some of those type folks just caught a little bit more attention. I'd say full bound, like that's the problem, is this kind of pitch. It just felt like possibly maybe she got more shoehorn, but this album did at least go platinum pitches like that, so some good type of ordeals. Like I said, I'm going to get to some more of these. So, yeah, there were 2 singles. Big Deal's the top 25 single on the Billboard. The other single, Crazy, didn't chart us within pitches like that. So Big Deal's like a woozy kind of 4 o'clock p.m. lick, kind of soggy day, I'd say, within pitches like that. It's kind of a half jive. Song Big Deal's like a half jive kind of day commerce, I'd say, within the aspects of it. So the song Big Deal's like a half jive kind of day commerce, I'd say, within the aspects of it. It's kind of a mediocre movie, pitches like that. Good song to grab nachos too, kind of a hot type one within these pitches as far as these fairs going to happen. Within the product, when I say mediocre movie, it's kind of the fair, like going to the movie theater, seeing some sort of movie where you'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, something like that within the pitch. It just leaves you kind of half full, half empty within pitches like that. It's good, but not as bewilderingly excellent within those fairs. It's kind of some of those type fairs where it doesn't feel like, back in 1999, you would have probably said a haphazard movie you would have wasted, maybe $4 or $5, but nowadays it's more like 18, 19 within some of those pitches. So it's just kind of fair. Plus, if you buy food, this guy has the pitches for saying, well, that movie was kind of but you look after this, go grab some nachos afterward. It's kind of a hot type day within pitches like that. It's kind of the fair about it. A lot of this particular album has some of that bittersweet type fashion within the particular pitch about it. There are some kind of chipper type songs within the pitch, but it just kind of has the after effect of real swamped. This kind of struck type mode within the aspect as far as this pitch. And I don't mean struck like awestruck pitches like that, but just more within the aspect of this kind of like in a swamped and kind of a foul type sense, those type aspects within the tone as far as those pitch kind of, but yeah, just within the fair, just some good type products. Listening to like the overall upside downness of a good particular fair about this album, it's a good product to have. Like some of those pick me ups in there easily, things like nachos, just the hot type one, like I was saying, this real affable type tone. This is a hot and smoky type song that nails the vibe as far as those pitch amps, accent type ordeal. Crazy is the second single as far as these aspects kind of happen. This is like a romantic saloon and jukebox music to kind of get within the products of it. Just day drink, but not fully kind of swamped, I'd say, within the tone behind it. It's kind of some gab and standard feed as far as those pitch amps. The distant pitch standard feed is talking about having more than like one or two or three things to say within those pitches. Actually, where the conversation can be picked up, not so much an antisocial kind of going out for drinking, but kind of within the pitch that if you have the commonplace of talking with folks, that the conversation, more or less might last. The convo might last for more than 5 or 8 minutes, something like that. And it's not to say within the aspect. I realize that this album is 26, 27 years old, pitches like that. It's kind of within the ordeal. The likelihood of hearing some of these type of songs and then just having the product of what to do within those fairs is kind of the pitch. A lot of this particular music here, you're probably going to hear it like swashed and taken aback kind of diners, especially if it would still be played like that nowadays. It'd be pretty much almost like a rundown type place. You might be able to catch like Big Deal or possibly Crazy, the two singles, but for the likelihood, probably more or less, I think folks within those diner type aspects, like you catching like those movies, pitches like that, sounds type tones would probably just be winding up playing like Bob Seger and things for like the 60s and 70s pitches like that within the first place. Was just kind of the ordeal as far as saying it's kind of within the product as far as having those fairs, just in the product of like having these songs on the pickup, but just kind of the fair of like within the modes of kind of listening to some of this, but having the upkeep about it as well within those pitches. So just kind of the product of being swamped, but still going out to jukebox bars and diners and pitches like that within those OJs. So it's just the product of something kind of for a little bit more contemporary type sense of the way things were 50 and 60 years ago, pitches like that. So it's just the ordeal. But yeah, look within, if I recommend all these songs, so some of these type pitches, like Me and Bobby McGee is a nice one. It's like a typical kind of country day, sunshine. Me and Bobby McGee is a nice one. It's like a typical kind of country day, sunshine, kind of get within the products of it. Just a date afternoon, kind of vanilla tailgate and lunching as far as those first going to happen. So this one has the most kind of just drifty kind of commerce within the pitch as far as those first going to happen. It's more like a Taylor Swift type format, sounds that fair. It's just 7-8 years before she particularly came on the scene as far as those pitches going to happen. But just within the product, it is kind of out. It's kind of more gravel road and park bound type truck type music and just tailgating pitches like that. Some type of deals for like a date afternoon, going to Sonic, some of these type fairs, pitches like that, picking up like a chili dog and cheese curds as far as those formats kind of happen. Culver's type music, some of those type fairs. Good type. This is probably one of the more spiffy type ones in terms of most of this album kind of being more within an upside down type format. So this actually has a little bit more glitz type factor about it. There are some diner type songs on here as far as these fairs going to go. So Faded Love is one of those, like a Drury diner and coffee sledge, kind of get within the aspects of it. It's kind of a soothing rhythm and usual slag amidst like the workday as far as these fairs going to happen. So just to miss the pitch, just that particular product, it is having some usual spots. Now it's kind of within the fair of just trying to find like diners depending upon the town you live. Like I think probably New York City, some of these type places, Detroit, some of these type fairs probably have some degree of diner. But in terms of talking about the diners where you would probably hear music like this, the more old-fashioned kind of 60s kind of places where there'd probably only be like 2 or 3 cars there, something like that within those ordeals, where it just would be like a simple kind of Hollywood waitress within those aspects. Like when you think within the product of it, I think California, Nevada, some of those type places probably have some of those in some degree of fashions, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying it's just kind of old-fashioned type aspect that it's a lot more commonplace back in those days, but it's just kind of pitch as far as having some of those type ones, just the real drear, some of those type ones, but it's just kind of pitch as far as going to it. It's coffee type fair pitches like that. Another one like that is Don't Worry. It's like a groggy and dreared kind of diner and day product, I'd say, within the aspects of it here. Just usual meal, looking pretty nice within those tones. If you go to some of these spots on the commonplace as far as those pitch going to happen, it's kind of some blasé fun as far as those pitch going to happen. So just within the pitch, just the swamp fashion about this album kind of has the particular makeshift, just like a retro type aspect within those tones as far as those pitch going to happen. The pitch behind this album in terms of like a dance club type song, this album is real excellent within the fairs, but it doesn't have like the electric kind of jive as far as something the way Britney Spears would have songs like Hit Me Baby One More Time, and Christina Aguilera would have like Genie in a Bottle, some of these type pitches. Jennifer Lopez would have Waiting for Tonight, some of these type fairs. For the most part, it like the cover songs are very excellent on here, but the contemporariness, considering that most of these songs stem from probably 20, 30 years before this album came out, it's kind of the pitch that you don't really get one of those type ones in terms of like a country kind of dance groove, something like that with a little bit little more disco type of feel. So it's just kind of, it's more down tempo kind of sludge and just makeshift kind of fatigue as far as those aspects kind of. It's not so like that's a problem, but in terms of songs like Me and Bobby McGee, it's not as full band. There are some ones, I'll point out some of them. Say one within the aspect that's kind of more with the relative kind of bounce about it would be Love Sick Blues, like a good routine kind of bar pick me up, retreat and embellish, kind of get within the products of it here. Just nice dance kind of foot tap and hop as far as those fares going to go. This one has a swamp type fashion, just kind of haphazard what it is, the aspect of stepping out a bit, but still kind of on, not still within the best aspect as far as what's supposed to happen, but just kind of the fair as far as like the haphazardness of socializing, but kind of within the product of preoccupied pitches like that as far as social deals going to happen. There are some other type ones on here, like Your Cheating Heart's another example of that. It's a good, excellent type one. Your Cheating Heart's like a good feeling, braver kind of. Your Cheating Heart's like a good feeling, braver, kind of out for some dine and a beer pitches like that to kind of get to as far as those pitches can happen. Definitely a good, nice one to get the memes going as far as those pitches can happen. So just within product, you got some buddies along with you, pitches like that within those fares, or like a diva, something like that. It's kind of fares, just keeping the product like the spice as far as those fares going to happen. Keeping the product like the mode going as far as those pitches can happen. So it's just within the ordeal, whether it is just some foul product, a dislike, standard kind of personal type gripe within pitch, but just kind of has the aspect of dislike, something that kind of, this kind of has the product of just knowing like the aspect as far as when to kind of get these nachos and the Wingstop type moments, you know, things like that. Get like some swishers going within some of their products. Now this kind of is more of a healthier type album, not to say full bound, but it's kind of within the pitch of just the aspect that, considering that she was underneath the age of 21, that's another product and not really getting like these dance club type songs in the pitch. So I mentioned beer on here a couple of times, which I'm going to, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying having a few of these type moments in here to spark up a swish or something like that within these aspects as far as having like the extra type products within it. But it's just kind of fair that this is kind of Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera kind of teen, not so much full-bound teen pop, but within the aspect of just something that's kind of more candy-coated within a relative type aspect. It's not super cutesy-centric pitches like that, but it's just kind of the ordeal as far as saying it's just the aspect that in terms of like the get shit-faced kind of fair, it's just not as full-bound, it's just with the aspects to just throw some of those moments in. But so I'd say Born to Lose is a quality one. This feels like an older type one. I looked kind of the fair up about this song. This seems like it was a song from the 40s. I thought it was from the 60s when I was writing the description about it. But Born to Lose is like a throwback kind of fireplace, 60s style crooning. Kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just cozy, kind of spark a couple, I'd say, within the aspects of it here. Within the product, excellent type fair. It's like some motel and lounge type music as far as those fairs going to go. Songs like some motel and lounge music as far as those fairs going to go. So it's within the pitch as far as saying just the aspect. Definitely, yeah, motel music needs to pop up a lot more within those pitches. That feels more country bound relative to like the 70s, 60s pitches like that when you think of folks like Johnny Cash, some of the stuff folks in the aspect of it as far as those fairs going to happen. But definitely good type product to just have like simple kind of spark up. Just, yeah, definite lounge type music a little bit more within the aspect of more just kind of cozy type aspects within the tone. Kind of a more definitely more chillax type bleed with an aspect, some Spotify type fare, more based upon the 60s and even 40s as far as those pitch comes. So just excellent type fare for like the chillax type fashion, good things like that. I Fall to Pieces is a nice one. It's like a chipper and brisker kind of traffic group to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just some weekday perks, I'd say. Go for like some glizzies, pitch like that. Good dance type song within the mode of it. So just kind of within the mode of it. So yeah, either being at the dance club pitches like that with like a relative kind of step about it, or just the aspect of getting ready to head out for one within pitches like that. Just kind of aspect of just kind of in a better type mood for like a Wednesday or Tuesday pitches like that. Maybe not as much full bout Monday, but just kind of midweek type fare for just aspect like some spices that just has like just a good departure from most of the funk of the particular fare of the swampness. So it's a good type product. I don't think I've talked about She's Got You yet. This is a nice one as well. It's like a nice jukebox kind of ambience and zone out to kind of get within the products of it here. Just mellow, kind of social white noise pitches like that. It's kind of a pivot night. So it's kind of the aspect as far as some of these type ones, similar swamp type fashion of a good portion of this album pitches like that, but kind of within the ordeal as far as saying that if it is kind of a Friday type fare or Thursday night type fare when you're listening to songs like this pitches like that, it's kind of the product as far as saying if you're not so much trying to full bound be in that particular mode, it's kind of the aspect that some of these type fares within pitch, like considering that the aspects for the most part the fare as far as listening to this album but not being as much of like the complete kind of horror type mood or mode within those pitches, just good to have like some pivot songs as far as saying, yeah, I'm going to listen to this, have like a swamp couple type hours pitches like that, but then kind of pivot and figure out like the next mood pitches like that, get some supply runs going, figure out the product, and maybe going and picking up like some degree of like bottle of Hypnotic, something like that, or just fares like that, some stuff aspects, go get like a hot Domino's pizza, some stuff fares with them pitches for us to just figure out like the next mode. Now if it's more central and things are kind of bolted towards that particular mode where there's not really where it's not that simple within those products. Yeah, it kind of has more fit within the aspect, but if there is the aspect of just being able to say, well, was in a foul mood, I'm going to go get some pizza, pitch like that, it's kind of ordeal, just having some of those pivot type most of the pitch, but this kind of has the fair, it's kind of within the social. So this album is kind of social within pitches. This kind of product that just kind of does it within an upside down type sense. This kind of product, as far as saying, like I was saying, just doesn't have like the full bound type ones within the pitches, like something kind of have like a shake your ass kind of dance song pitches like that, considering the way that like some of the other teen pop type stars were kind of were around those times. This album does have some excellent depth about it, so it's good type pitches for that. I think there's a few more I haven't talked about on here, like Leaving on Your Mind is a nice one, as well as like a nice karaoke and open mic kind of hard rock sludge, kind of get within the aspects of it here. Good type fare. It's like a mellow kind of neon slime kind of aspect of a song. Some of those type fares pretty similar to like She's Got You, some of these type ones, or some other type ones like Love Sick Blues, some of these type products within like to socialize. It's a good song, grab like a beer, pitch like that, not as full bound within the full bound kind of promotion of it, but just kind of pitch it, just having like a Budweiser or something like that within those tones, something like that, Heineken, something like that. So it's kind of a country pop kind of aspect to like some neon. So Leaving on Your Mind's like a country pop type variation, like some neon bar hop kind of sludge pitch like that, good type ordeals pitch like that. But not a super ton of these songs like that on here, but it's a good type pitch to have some of those type fares. Good, nice one, I'd say. Crying Time is a nice one as well within these aspects. I think this is the last one I haven't talked about on here as far as these aspects going to happen. So Crying Time's like a slump kind of makeshift long day to kind of get within the aspect. Just some long day kind of dredge. Just kind of a gray commute as far as those fares going to happen. Just kind of miss the day fare pitch like that. Good song to grab Hardee's. Some of those type fares pick up like a DVD or two. Some Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider, some of those type pitches. Something like that. Jack Black, some of those particular type folks about it. Just good song to toke to as well within the product. Whether it is car type fare or just neighborhood bound pitch like that. Not as much full bound snack run within the pitch. Not ton of like snack run type songs within the aspect. Has a little bit more commerce in mind within the fares behind, but it's this kind of aspect as far as just being in the neighborhood, as far as some of those type products just to have with divas in mind, as far as those pitch kind of go, just getting the product like the pickups of this out. The album, despite the fare kind of being more within the aspect of just like the commute kind of it does have the aspect of just having like the pickups in mind as well. It's kind of within the fare as far as needing items and just overall things to kind of spice things up. Just kind of spices and items, pitches like that as far as those first going to have them. Just knowing like the right drink, whether it's Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew, some of these type pitches, or the right place to eat, Wendy's or Hardee's, some of these type places, or just the product of like, Swisher Sweets or, chocolate vanilla backwoods, the mango type ones, pitch like that, some of these type ordeals is the product, some of these type aspects and the extra type fare of what and where to throw in to kind of keep the variety behind like the dredge factor of most of this album kind of going within those pitches. And even like the fare, like the DVDs, like I was saying, Rob Schneider, Jack Black, Adam Sandler, some of these type folks on the pitch, or other type fares, may not be comedy within that, may not be comedy that hits the spot as far as those fares happen. But this on the pitch, I look after it. This kind of happens to be the fair. I look after this kind of within the tone as far as saying that's the product as far as those fares happen. So I think I talk about every song on here. It's a 10 out of 10 album. The social score I'm going to go ahead and give, like I would go ahead and say it's a 10 out of 10 album. For 1999, this is real blistering and excellent within those pitches. Not to say like that, like there wasn't excellent music back then, but just the pitch and nailing these particular country cover songs, putting a new spin on them, pitches like that, nailing songs from that were probably folks that were 30, 40 years old and her within those pitches, being able to have the aspect, nailing the particular harness of just like the aspect of having some of those type tones, having some of those type products in a contemporary type sense. So it has the aspect as far as these moments. I do like some of these motel and lounge type ones, some of these neon kind of bar sludge, some of these type products going out for Sonic and Culver's, pitches like that, some of these type ordeals, going to jukebox and restaurant type fare and diners, pitch like that for like some good grub, lunch, dinner, some of those type aspects from the tone as far as those pitch can have, and then the commerce type songs pitch like that. So it's kind of within an ordeal, seeing mediocre movies and kind of the aspect of like the usual type fare, just like day traffic pitch like that. So it's this kind of product having those spices in there, like I said, some kind of party favors type fare, to having some of those type things in mind within pitches like that. So it's just a product like some good commerce and some of those type products. It does have some good socialized and meme type aspects in here as well. So it's kind of within pitch for us saying so excellent. So excellent type fare. So in terms of feature, I'm not sure. So in terms of feature, I'm not as full bound type sure as far as how many albums LeAnn Rimes has put out within these full bound recent type times. I could look that up. She's dropped as recent as 2022, so there's some excellent type products here to get within some of these. I'm going to get to some more of these within the products as far as these fares can happen. This is definite classic, some of these type fares. I want to see what some of her original music is about, because I did like the song Big Deal pretty damn well within those pitches, so excellent type fare. She handles these country cover songs pretty excellently within these products, so hopefully she does more cover songs as well, pitched like that. But yeah, this late 90s kind of staple out of like the product of when those albums were selling like hotcakes, just amidst the fare of her contemporaries, like in terms of folks like Christina Aguilera and Jennifer Page and Mandy Moore and Britney Spears, folks like that within those aspects, other type tones. So it's excellent with the pitch, classic staple here, just pitches like that. It's a good, nice one that has some excellent kind of contemporary country pop and pitches like that.